the one and only Miss Daniel Lee. Hello, Miss. How are you?
Hello. I am good. Can you hear me okay? I broke it. Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh, hello. I'm back.
Okay. Are we all here?
Sorry.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Hello, Miss. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're pretty good. Everything. I think almost all of us already finished our mid-semester test. Yeah, it's quiet. It's quite nice. Everybody's feeling nice right here. And we're joined to with Miss Henny. Hello, Miss.
Hello.
Hello. How are you,
Hello,
Miss?
guys. Hello.
how how is everybody doing, guys? Before we start our session here, can we please can all of people here open their camera, please? Okay. Everybody, hello. Please open the camera first. Anybody join in here? Nice. We got a lot of people here opening their camera. For the rest, please the attention to open the camera. Okay. It's nice to see you all of your faces rather than talking to blank or your name only on the camera. Okay, everybody. Today we are going to talk about a topic that are I see. Let's say boys likes it the most. Because today we are going to talk about sports. Ooh, yes. Who loves sports here? Who loves sports? Oh, Efto is raising hands. Efto, what sports do you like?
Mostly I watch like European football, soccer. Miss
Ooh,
Daniel
yes.
and others call it soccer in America.
Yeah. Oh, soccer. Okay, or football, soccer. Okay. So let's begin the thing. It's Miss Daniele. Do you have any presentation?
Right.
Okay.
I will get started. First thing, I would like to introduce our guests. Then we might play a game, and then I'll let my guest get into his presentation. And then we'll have some time for discussion. So if you have questions, you want to talk about sports, definitely be excited for our event today. If you were with us last semester, you remember Mr. Michael, my husband, and the beard. So he's able to join us today, and he likes sports. And ladies, it's okay to like sports too. I just get bored sometimes, but I enjoy them too. And then we have Mr. Christopher or Chris. I'll let him introduce himself a little bit if he wants to.
Sure. Hi, everyone. Selamat malam. Apa kabar?
Selamat malam.
Great. Are you wearing batik, sir?
Yes, I am. Do you like it? Cantik?
Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful. Very wonderful.
It's very cantik.
Oh, terima kasih banyak. Yeah, I will describe myself a bit more later, so in the introduction. But thank you very much for having me. Thank you, Danielle, and the rest of the Proforma group. I look forward to hopefully giving a good presentation about sports in America.
All right. So, as you can see, his Indonesian is a little bit better than mine. So, just a little though, right? So,
yeah, just a little.
All right. For our game today, you will want your camera on. Okay. And we are going to try a virtual scavenger hunt. So how the rules work is I have items that I will ask for you to find, and you will want to find the item. The only thing I ask is that it's in your room, so you're not running around. So whatever room you're in, it can be in your purse or your backpack. And then the first person to hold it up in front of the camera wins that round. All right. So does everybody understand? All right.
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to ask for you to find is a mug. Oh, all right. It looks like Nada might be the first one. Good job. All right. Very good. All right.
I am kind of mad because I hit mug a seconds ago and I put it on my kitchen.
Oh,
So I'm kind of mad.
I mean,
Yeah.
all right. How about, does anyone have a picture of your pet? Or someone else's pet if you're petless?
I don't have pet.
Oh. Oh. All right. I think.
I think I got one here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got one.
Cheater. All right. So apparently Michael wins that point. I don't think it counts, but all right. Okay.
I'm just participating, being a good sport.
All right. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
okay.
Vincent got one. Now that's not yours though, is it?
It used to be mine, but I gave it to my friends.
Oh. How about a phone charger? Oh man, somebody's got one of these. All right, I think Efto got that one.
I got
Oh,
it.
close, close. All right.
Nada.
Yeah, very good, very good. All right, let's see. All right, maybe the girls can chime in. Makeup. Could be a makeup brush, could be a compact. Chris, I know you're not looking for makeup. What? Efto!
This is my
What is
mom's
not?
makeup.
I was looking
This
for
is
my
my mom.
wife's makeup. Hey, her mom's makeup.
This is my mom's
All right,
makeup.
Efto and Vincent have some explaining to do, though.
I don't know what is this, but I know this is the makeup. This makeup.
I don't know if it counts, but it's what do you call it? A bedak, you know? What is it called?
Powder.
Powder. No, it's yeah, the powder, but it's not for makeup though.
Yeah, it's
It's
just a
just a
drying
body
powder.
powder.
Yeah,
It's a body powder, yeah.
but I'm
Okay.
like, oh, I think that counts.
Wow. Wow. Like, I didn't give you guys these lists and you have everything just sitting on your desk right next to you. It's kind of interesting there. All right.
So that's weird, creepy, just a little bit.
All right. Maybe you can get a living thing.
Right here, I win.
Other than yourself, though. Come on, guys.
Mr. Chris, where's your kid?
Oh, oh, oh,
Oh,
oh. Very good.
I got a plant.
I was hoping someone would get a plant. Very good. All right. Let's
Oh, finally
see.
I got a duck.
Oh, a dog. Oh.
Oh, it's a baby.
That's Chihuahua.
I
Yeah.
love
Oh my God.
Oh.
It is.
Chihuahua.
Nice.
Does your Chihuahua have a name?
Yeah. Her name is Yossi.
Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Oh, that's so sweet.
She's a little bit she's
Oh dear.
angry.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for sharing. Let's see. How about a paper clip? I don't know where the paper clips are in this office, honey.
Nope, neither do I. Sorry, hon. We
That's
lose this
okay.
round.
I'm not supposed to play. I made the list.
I didn't know what you were what was even on the list. That's why I played along.
Oh, all right, Nada. Very good.
Okay.
Very good. All right. So he got that one. Oh, I'll keep a list. I lost. Okay. All right. This one might be interesting. It is a self-help book. So that's like internet's Dummy's Guide to the Internet. What is that book? Okay, I can't read the title.
It's a law, I guess. Law book, of an Indonesian law book. Does it count?
It's more of a textbook. Looking like a way to improve your life book. The dictionary. All right. Let's see. What do you have, Efto?
Actually, this is my Bible.
That's kind of self-help. All right.
It's really improved my life.
But
Yeah. All right. Not bad. So nobody has the Dummy's Guide to like English or anything. I'm joking.
No, I do. Yeah, I got you.
really?
There we go. Beekeeping for dummies. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. All
I
right.
was waiting for somebody to pull out like chicken soup for the soul or something
This,
like that.
well, that's not really self-help, but
Okay.
all right. So now this one should be a pretty fierce competition. A shoe.
Oh, funny.
Oh,
Iron one.
I guess not really, because you all take off your shoes to go into the house.
Yeah, everyone has to go outside to get their shoe.
Sorry, I forgot about that. I mean, I live barefoot. Like I don't like shoes, but I'm like everybody. Okay, we'll scratch that one.
I basically live in boots, so.
All right. How about a candle?
Sorry, hon, I can't do that one for us. Or
I don't know.
can I? Oh, yeah, I can come up with one here for us.
Oh, it's okay. Apparently, we have a candle. Very good, honey. All right. All right. Something you collect. You're not collecting me. Ah, Vincent, you collect guitar picks.
Yes.
Nice. And so does Nada. You guys should have like a collection together. You know. All right. All right. Fuzzy. What is
Fuzzy.
that?
Fauzi.
Fauzi.
Excuse us.
It's a
Collect
penny.
money.
Oh yeah, you collect the money.
Nice.
I think it's
Nice.
like the old one. The old money, I guess.
Old coins. Oh,
Yeah, old
okay.
coins.
Very nice. All right. And what do you have?
Antique stuff.
She's got
Kalali?
Kalila.
Kalila.
What's you're collecting?
Photo photo card.
Photo card.
Photo card.
Yeah, your background. Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
BTS.
okay.
okay.
No, no, not BTS. No, not that.
Oh, Snappa.
And
Please. All right. Does anyone else have a collection they want to share? That's handy.
No, mine's in
Oh.
another room.
Oh.
Oh, what do we got there?
Zenny. Are you collecting perfume?
Ooh.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa. Going to town.
We just happened to be in the room with the collection.
Okay. No say.
Wow. That one looks funny.
Yeah.
Right. Very good. Let's see. Anyone else? Oh no! Where did I make the screen go again? Don't worry, that's just me. Huh. I'm almost too old for technology now, guys. I know it happens fast. All right. A stuffed animal, like a plushie, not a pet. Oh, Kalia. That's a little teddy bear. You stole that from your son. All right. Oh, and Vanessa, what is that?
Larva.
Oh.
You know, larva animation. Oh my god, my dog.
A larva.
Larva.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Oh, okay, Larva. And Nada has a hat.
It's a wampus.
A wumbus?
Yeah, it's a wampus. I got it for free.
Oh, hey. It's cute though. And Chris, is that one yours or is that Shep's?
That's Shepherd's.
Yeah,
This is-
kind of
Yeah,
figured.
This
Yeah,
is my son.
I'd say you look a little old for that one.
I know.
I owned 0 stuffed animals until having a child.
Aw.
Somebody has all of our collection.
Oh,
No, honey, all of those are mine. Like, you don't have a single stuffed animal. They're all mine. All right. How about a hat?
Yeah.
I want. No, I'm kidding. All right. Oh, and a little warm for that.
I'm gonna say my mug.
Very good.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Miss Henny does like
Oh.
Chelsea. Very Friska. Good. Oh, so cute.
They
Oh,
have a
see,
new
good.
owner. Chelsea does, yeah.
All right. Oh, Tito. Very.
Okay.
All right.
Excuse
Let's
me.
see. Can anybody find a pen? Oh, very good. Very good. It's like Nada was prepared to take notes today. And Friska, Efto. Ah, wonderful. Kalia. I apologize if I mess up your guys' names. All right. So just like repeat them a few times for me and I might remember them by the time we meet again. So Vincent likes to take his notes digitally, I see.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oops.
All right. So
Excuse me, sorry.
that was our scavenger hunt. I hope you guys had some fun, a little bit something different. And now I'm going to give the floor to Chris. Let him present what he's prepared today. So,
okay. All right, so everyone can see my screen okay?
Yes, we can,
Yeah.
sir.
Quick thumbs up. Okay, awesome. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into it then. So today's topic, as already mentioned, is about sports in America. So please try to write down any questions that you have while I talk, but also feel free to ask any questions about the current slide that I'm on as well. So do not hesitate. So please ask questions during the talk. Before I start, just a little bit of information about me. My name is Christopher Lee Sherrill, but you can call me Chris, or as many people call me, Mr. Chris. But feel free to just say Chris, and or Ka Chris. That's fine as well. I am 37 years old, so I am a bit older, maybe closer to some of your parents' age even as well. So I am from a state in America called Pennsylvania. So I was born and raised about maybe 2 hours from Washington, D.C., which many people should know. So on the East Coast of America is where I grew up. So I am married. As you can see, this is my wife right here. Let me spotlight. So my wife, she is South Korean, but she actually lived in Indonesia for 20 years. She grew up here. So dia orang tua tinggal di Indonesia untuk 30 tahun. So she speaks Indonesian very well, but my Indonesian is very bad. It's jelek. Bahasa Inggris saya tidak bagus. And then this is our son. His name is Shepherd. Gumbala. So his name is Shepherd, and he is 2.5 years old. So this is our little family of 3. And as you can see in the background here, this is us at Institut Pertanian Bogor, IPB University. And we are both master's students. We are both agricultural business, faculty economy dan management. And we are both in our thesis process right now. So we hope to finish by December of this year, if possible. So that is our plan. So again, feel free to ask anything about me later or any questions you might have about this slide here. So let's start by getting into the main topic. And I just want to give a small overview of sports in America. Now, much of this presentation is about team sports. So kelompok, group sports. So everything that I will talk about from here is about American football, basketball, baseball, association football, also known as soccer in America, and then ice hockey. So the most popular team sports in America are these 5 sports right here, known as the top five sports. So as you can see from the numbers, most people seem to have a favorite, which is American football, also known as the National Football League, which we'll talk about more in just a moment. So as you can see also, there are many participants, meaning many people who play the sports. So in American football, you have 8.9 million, basketball, 30.3 million, baseball, you have 29.3 million, soccer, about 13.6 million, and then ice hockey, about 3.1 million. Now, this presentation will talk about both major league professional sports, college sports, and youth, so high school, middle school, and elementary. So let's take a look at the first one here. First one is American football. So football has the most participants of any sport, the most players at any sport, both high school and college level. Mostly because each side of the ball, offense and defense, has 11 players. But in the NFL, it has 32 NFL teams. So a large number of teams are in the league. And that's at the highest level. And then in college football, there's a much larger number. So almost every college so there are 3 divisions, tiga lantai, lantai 1, lantai 2, lantai 3. So 3 levels, and there are roughly 800 football programs in college. So it's a lot. It's not just a small number. Now, within these college football, not everybody goes to the NFL. So they have every year what we call an NFL draft, and people will go, only 200 people per year will enter into the NFL. And the career only lasts about 3 to 5 years. So they do not play for very long. So many people, although they play until they are about 25 years old, they often have to quit or retire because of injury or because of not being good enough, not being elite anymore. Almost every high school has a football program. Then there are many youth football leagues, arena leagues, and flag football. So flag football is for people who do not want to be tackled to the ground. They do not want to be hit very much. So what they do is they take kind of like a sock, maybe about that long, and they tie it to their side. And when you catch the ball, they try to pull it off. And when you pull off what's called a flag, and that's like a tackle. That's like they're tackling you. So there are many variations. There are many different types of American football that are played all over the country. And it is also the most watched sport. So it's not just played, but millions and millions of people will watch on their smartphone or on the television, or they will go to the stadium or the arena. So most arenas, most stadiums in America, football stadiums hold the most people. So there's actually a stadium in Pennsylvania called Penn State Beaver Stadium in Penn State. And that holds over 110,000 people. Seratus 10,000 orang di dalam stadium. So it holds a lot of people. And there are many, many of those stadiums all over the country. And people just come together every Saturday and Sunday to watch football. So that is why there's so much interest in American football. Moving on. The next sport that I want to briefly talk about is basketball. So many of us know about the NBA, which is the National Basketball Association. The female version, which is the Women's National Basketball Association. And then much like college football, football, there's college basketball, high school basketball, youth, and then the Olympics. Now, in regard to revenue, which is how much money is made in the whole United States out of the sports, basketball ranks number 3. It makes the third most amount of money after football and after baseball, actually. So basketball was actually invented in 1891 by a Canadian physician named James Naismith. And he invented basketball with just 2 kind of buckets. Dia ada baskom dan ada bola, and then just throwing a ball into a small basket, a peach basket to be specific. And from 1891 until now, the game has changed a lot. Now there are many basketball leagues, not just in America, but all over the world. But in America, there are 30 basketball teams. 29 are in the United States, and 1 team is in Canada, in Toronto, Canada. And they play 82 games per year in the professional leagues. So they have a very busy and long playing season. So I should have mentioned, in football, you only play from August. The season is from August Agustus sampai February. So from August until February is the season for football. But for basketball, it starts in October sampai Juni. So until right now, basketball is still being played because right now is the NBA Finals. So some of you who are fans may recognize this person right here. This is Stephen Curry, and he is with the Golden State Warriors. And his team is currently in the finals right now. So the NBA is very, very popular in America. In college basketball, there is something called March Madness. Now, this is very unfamiliar, meaning strange, new thing to many people. But March Madness is when 64 of the best college basketball teams in the whole country will have a tournament to see who is the best. And they will play for almost every day for about maybe 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, until they find out who the winner or who the best team is. So this past season, it was the University of Kansas that won the March Madness. But when it comes to basketball, many people play because it's something that is easy to play anywhere in the world or anywhere in the country. You can just have the basketball and play with very little cost. Very many poor people can play. It does not take a lot of money to play basketball. Now, one thing I want to talk about that many people do not know in America is that youth basketball is very, very popular. It's called AAU, which is Amateur Athletic Union. And to make it simple these are special groups, special teams that come together to compete against other special teams. So it's different than just a regular team. And these are kind of the best within a whole area. They come and team up and they play a whole nother area, the best of the best in another area. And that's very common for people to gain kind of a spotlight so they can possibly go to a Division I school on a scholarship or to receive some kind of offer from a better program. One thing about basketball is it is also represented in the Olympics. So many of the sports that I talk about here are represented in the Olympics. Actually, football is the only one that's not in the Olympics because it's not really an international global sport at this moment. Up next is baseball and softball. So these are very popular team sports in America. And these are the first professional sports in the United States. So the highest level of baseball is the Major League Baseball, And what is interesting about baseball versus all of the other sports is that they have a big, what we call affiliate or minor league set of teams. So for every one Major League Baseball team, most will have 3 smaller teams below them. So that way people can prepare and get better and train. So it's something that, of course, is very interesting because not every sport does that. Only baseball has has a large amount of players that are not in major league, but they still have a career in baseball playing for these minor league teams. So for example, you see this team right here in the red. They are the Washington Nationals, based out of Washington, D.C. So they have 3 other teams underneath of them. One located, and they're usually nearby where that team is. So in Washington, D.C., they have 3 teams nearby. One in Hagerstown, Maryland, which is actually close to where Miss Danielle and Michael live. One in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is just as close to where they live. And then another one in New York, not New York City, but upstate New York, in another part of New York State. So all of these teams, the players will eventually, if they're good enough, will make it to the main major league team. So also the college baseball is very big as well. So just like college football, where every college has a football team almost, there are many baseball teams as well. So that's very. Oh, I'm sorry. I just found out that the Hagerstown Suns are no longer a team. That's sad. I think so. I've been outside of America for 3 years now, so that's a big news to me. So when it comes, also another thing about baseball is it's played in what we call little league. So this is all about youth, about little kids playing baseball. And you see right here, these are teenagers, 13 years old, playing baseball. And little league, most areas, think about maybe the size of, let's see, maybe Esa Ungol Campus. Maybe that's one team of baseball. And then maybe just in, let's say, let's see, what's another part? In Kamangi-san area, or I'm trying to think of different areas of Jakarta now. Saya lupa. Maaf. But just different areas of Jakarta having their own specialized team of little league, of little kids playing. As I said earlier, the Olympics are represented by baseball and softball. And there's something also called slow pitch softball. So you see this gentleman right here. He does not look quite as athletic as these gentlemen up here. And there's a reason for that. Because he is playing in a league where you do not have to be very athletic. This is just a very slow, easy type of playing softball. It's not a fast version, but it is still very competitive, meaning people play very hard and get very angry within that sport as well. So, and this is a very big portion of American athletics, baseball and softball. Next, which is a sport that's very well known to people all over the world, that is soccer, or football. To many people. Now, in America, I will speak specifically to America, is that we have a league called the Major League Soccer, and that's the premier, the top of the line club in America. And they have 28 clubs, 28 clubs, and 25 are in the US and 3 are in Canada. So over here, you see a picture of Major League Soccer players. And there's also a women's professional soccer league as well, but they do not have the same amount of success. In fact, most people know the women's team based on their national team, which is pictured right here. And the national team has the most success compared to the men, in that they've won, I think, 4 women's World Cup titles, 4 Olympic gold medals, and 8 gold cups. Konasaf, I forget how to pronounce it. Gold Cup titles. And another major part of soccer in America is not just outdoor soccer, but also arena soccer. So many people are playing indoors as well. So maybe in Indonesia, we call it futsal. This is kind of like a bigger version of futsal. You're still playing with a regular ball, a regular sized ball, just more confined field area. And maybe the biggest amount of people playing comes from the youth, actually, in the youth leagues all over America. Many kids will play soccer because parents do not want them to play football at this age, American football. They want them to play a sport that does not have as much brain injury contact as football. So you'll see many people playing soccer. So we go from a warm weather sport to ice hockey, which is a cold weather sport. So ice hockey, referred to in the U.S. simply as hockey, is most popular in areas of the country that have a cold climate. So di dalam daerah dengan musim dingin, bukan musim panas. So, but over the recent maybe 20 years, many teams have begun to come in with warm weather and hot weather areas. So as we look at both the NHL, which is the National Hockey League, there are actually many minor league teams as well. Again, kind of like the baseball teams, but I think with fewer affiliations, fewer connected teams. But still, they have quite a few players that will practice or learn how to play at the lower level, and then eventually come into the NHL. Unless you are like these two future Hall of Famers, Sidney Crosby and I think Connor McDavid. I think that's his name. But these two are two of the best NHL players in the world right now. So, along with the NHL, there is also what we call club hockey and youth hockey. So all over America, there are many ice skating rinks where people go ice skating just to have fun. But unfortunately, those do not make a lot of money. So the way for the ice hockey to make money, for skating arenas to make money, they let other clubs or youth come in and play on the ice also. And one big thing to kind of point out about ice hockey is that unlike soccer or basketball, where you don't have to have a lot of money to play, you do not have to be rich or wealthy. With ice hockey, you tend to have have money. You have to have a lot of money to play this sport, because just the wearing the pads alone, untuk protective gear, 20 juta. Ya, hanya untuk mungkin 2 tahun. Only for 2 years, most likely you wear those gear, and then you get bigger, so you need more gear. So you're spending a lot of money on hockey. if you play. So I don't even have that kind of money. So I definitely did not play hockey as a kid. So I went through a lot of team sports, and I just want to kind of touch on a few of the individual sports here that we see a lot of. So one of them that's growing in popularity in America is what we call mixed martial arts, MMA, or combat sports. So sports such as mixed martial arts, which is a combination of all of these really, karate, boxing, taekwondo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, wrestling, all of these are very, very common contact sports that we see in America. Now, of course, not everybody joins in order to be like these guys right here who are Olympic athletes and world-class athletes. Most people will do combat sports for self-defense, for knowing how to be disciplined or how to have balance and not to fall over as easily. And others just like to challenge themselves, because you really do not know about yourself until you've been in a fight. So I would be interested to know how many people in this room here have been in a fight or have had some kind of a fight with their brother or sister or with a sibling that got really brutal. So this is a very it's an ancient sport, really, too. This is not like a new thing. People have been fighting for forever. Since for those of you who know the story about Cain and Abel, there have been wrestling ever since the beginning of time. So the first organized really wrestling was actually in America was in 1888, so over 200 years ago. But in America, these sports are very, very popular these days, both for men and women. I do want to add that this is for both men and women. Actually, I think if I remember correctly, Miss Danielle has a brown belt in karate. Am I correct, Danielle?
It's not karate. My MMA instructor does a belt thing, even though MMA doesn't have belts. And I'm yellow.
She has a yellow. Okay, she has a yellow belt.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's above white, right?
Yes, very good.
All right, good. Yeah, I have a brown belt that I'm wearing, so that's about all I have. So again, my point is that many women will do combat sports as well. So that's something that's very uncommon in many parts of Southeast Asia and all around here. Yeah. So let's take a look here at one of my final slides. So just to kind of have some discussion about sports, maybe not just in America, but all across the world as well. So many of the sports that I talked about were team sports. I did not talk about golf, tennis, swimming, track and field, which is a big one as well. And I left out our motor sports as well. I left out racing, both motocross and NASCAR. And so those are also very, very popular sports as well. Formula One. Sato. I think that was recently in Jakarta, if I remember correctly. So that's a whole nother avenue of sporting that I did not touch on. But in every sport that I talked about, there is a major influence on culture, on faith, and family. all over the country. So what I just want to say is that sports play, although they are popular, it also helps to encourage. It builds unity and creates dialogue on important social issues. Whether it is back in the 1940s and 50s, whenever African Americans, Black people, were first allowed into the major leagues, or when it talks about the women's sports being kind of introduced into the realm of entering into the major league levels. And I also want to point out that the value system of sports is very well ingrained into people when they participate, when they do sports. So whether they are learning about discipline, or sportsmanship, these are all things that individuals and communities are being built up on. And then also, we see how it unites families. It unites people who maybe would not really talk to each other even unless they have sports to talk about in their lives. So that's something that I would want to point out as well. So it's a very uniting experience as well. And the last thing I would say is that sports influenced by making people humble, making people learn about teamwork and learn the importance that there's always going to be something or somebody above you. And there's always somebody better. And there's always somebody that's going to put you into a lower into defeat, basically. Because sometimes we become proud. We become too, what we call in America, arrogant. So we have too much pride. But when we are in, let's say, MMA, and somebody puts you onto the ground, or if you're in, maybe soccer, and somebody, is able to dribble around you super fast, that's a humiliating experience. But it also teaches you that there is always somebody better. Unless your name is Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, that was my talk. So I definitely want to leave enough time for questions. So please feel free to ask any question, or if you want me to go back to any slide, I will definitely do that. Please feel free to ask any question. If you don't want to speak, then put it into the chat, and I'll be happy to answer your question in the chat as well.
Yeah, I think this topic is unique, because American sports such as basketball and football, where they both are really famous in USA, discussed in this meeting. But in my country, like American football is not famous, and baseball either, right? And honestly, I watch several Super Bowl games on YouTube, and I enjoy it actually. And the games were entertaining, even though I know those were the old game, not the latest things. And I a little bit confused about the rules on football because I don't familiar with it. And I didn't know exactly how to score in football match at the first time I watched it. And how the specific things going on, but I enjoyed. And I love when there were big guys like crossing each other to win the game. Yeah. And I have a question actually.
Okay.
When I watch football, American football, not European, there's a man, maybe a referee or an official of that game, who throw the flag into the game.
Yes.
So what does it mean?
Okay. Yeah. So let me go back to the slide here so I can kind of narrate it a bit easier. So on the football field, it is pretty large. So in meters, it would be, so let's see, football field in meters is, it's pretty large. So how many meters is a football field? Sorry. So a NFL football field is 90 meters by 120 meters. Oh, sorry, by 45. 90, so 90 sampai 45 meter. So it's pretty big. It's a very big field. So at every spot of those fields, you have to have somebody to be an official, be a referee. Now, I think in soccer, you have, I think, three, maybe, well, you have line judges that look at the lines, but then the main people on the field, I think, are two or three that kind of run with the ball and watch for penalties and throw up the card. But with the NFL, it's way too chaotic, way too much hitting. So there's you need a referee at almost every 5 yards or every 10 yards to kind of see what is happening at every angle. So you need somebody standing over here. In fact, this person right here in the white hat, I think that's a referee, maybe. But you need somebody at every angle to see if there's something illegal happening. So for example, if this person right here is hitting with his helmet into here, that's a penalty. So he can, that would be a flag thrown into the air. And that could be either 15 yards or 7 meters in the one direction, or if there's no penalty, then obviously nothing happens. So the rules are very hard to understand at first. It takes a lot of watching and a lot of patience from somebody else to explain what is happening on the field at any moment, because you have action. You have people playing on the line. You have the big-bodied people, playing on the line and hitting each other, holding each other, kind of judo, throwing each other on the ground. And then you have the smaller people on the outside, which are your wide receivers and your defensive backs, and they have their own set of rules they have to follow. And then, of course, you have the quarterback, the one with the ball. He has his own set of rules that you have to follow. So there are so many rules for so many people. You have to think there's 11 people on each side. So that's 22 people you have to think about. Wow, that's a lot of rules.
Okay, there is questions
yes,
from Fauzi. What's the
Bertanya.
differences between American football and Australian football? Say it like that.
Okay, terima kasih Fauzi, Mas Fauzi. Dengan American football dan football Australia, namanya rugby. So bukan bersama-sama. They are not the same. And you will notice the first thing that you notice is that in American football, they have padding. You have a helmet, a very, very hard helmet. This is not just a hat. This is bukan topi. Ini keras banget. So this is a very hard helmet that people wear. And these are shoulder pads. Ini plastic, keras juga. So, and then down here, they have more padding all over their body. And because they hit so hard, it's like being in a car accident every time you play this sport, almost on every play. So it's very, very hard. So that's the number one difference. Scoring, the scoring is completely different as well. And with rugby, almost everyone is kind of the same, very similar size. Their size is very close, but with football, you have very many different sizes of people. Orang bukan bersama-sama di dalam Amerika football. dari lain-lainnya dari rugby. I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Terima kasih, Pak.
Is there any questions from the other friends?
Dimas raised his hand.
Oh, oke, boleh. Silakan, Dimas.
Hello,
Go
Mr.
Hello.
Actually, I want to ask about, we know that American football it was born in America.
Yeah.
It's famous from America, and it's like a national sport from America because it's
Right.
called its name is American football. But
For sure.
my question is, as sport that's born from America, is there any mandatory to learn about American football in America? Like in high school, you should learn about it or not?
Yeah. So in all American schools, we have what we call physical education courses. Fit in Indonesian gym class. Let me find out what it is. Gym physical education.
Penjaskes in Indonesian.
In Indonesia, we have
Penjaskes.
Pendidikan.
Yes.
Okay. So so in America we have these classes that you have to learn kind of every sport. You have to practice every sport. So football, soccer, frisbee, throwing the frisbee, which is a little plastic disc, throwing the frisbee, tennis. We learn every single sport in America. So yes, it is mandatory. Wajib, it is a mandatory thing that we have to learn. Thank you. That's a good question. Very good question.
Okay, maybe I have another question.
Sure.
After you explain to me about it's mandatory in America. Actually, we know it's a mandatory, but it's really seriously as a mandatory. I mean, like in Indonesia, we have a penjaskes, like a learning about sport like in America. But
Right.
even the government said it's mandatory and you should learn about it, but we're not really serious on it because when you got a bad score in your sport class,
right,
you still can your teacher or your school is not care about it because like sport just entered include to the report, but we do not care about the score from sports. It's not really seriously as a class.
Right. Yeah, that's something.
In America, it's the sport class. It's really seriously. I mean that you not if you not have a good score in sport class and it can affect to your another score or not like that.
Yeah. So there, the question is really, why do people in America take it so seriously, right? Versus other countries?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's, I think that's what we call mentality. That's the kind of the personality of Americans. We have a very competitive mindset, meaning we have to win. We have to be better than somebody at something. So we look at sports and we say, okay, I'm not tall enough. I'm not a very tall person. So I would never be good at basketball, but you know what? I have strong legs, so I could be a good soccer player. So we use that to make our image, to make ourselves look better. So it's one of those things also where we use sports not just for physical to feel better, for health. Bukan untuk sehat. It is for looking better for a potential date, or looking better for for our parents, or making ourselves feel good about ourselves. And I think that's something that we do that in America because also from a very young age that is taught. It's not something we just learn to do whenever we are in college or in high school. But as you mentioned, it's something that I think our parents, they teach us at a very young age, hey, you have to be better than X, Y, Z. You have to really push yourself to go further than what you normally would if you did not have sports. And maybe that, I wouldn't say that's missing in Indonesia, but or other Southeast Asian countries, but it is something that there's a focus, right? There's a focus on in a different direction, whether it's for your faith, whether it's for just wanting to watch video all day or play video games, or whether it is to just be relaxed in kampung.
No, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
About in Indonesia.
Right.
Because I feel in my country, yeah, maybe in your country that you really care about sport, but in our country, just maybe part of us, not all of us care about it. Because when a child in my country just smart in or just good in sport but not good in math, we still say that he's not good at all. You should
Right.
good at math or good at a science, so we can call you smart. If just
Right.
sport, we can't call you a smart person
Yeah.
in Indonesia.
Right. Yeah. Not. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your question.
I want to ask a question again, sir. Actually, this question is a bit out of topic,
Okay.
Like, okay. Do American school really have cliques? Like it is like a jokes where they are athletes, playing sport and
Yeah.
nerds, something like that. And is there a what is that? Is there a hierarchy of
Hierarchy.
Yeah, hierarchy. Right. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that's something that is definitely in almost every school. So you have people who, as you said, jocks. You look at some of these people who are, they kind of run the school. They are the owners of the school. So, if you are the captain of the football team, or the captain, the head of the cheerleading team, or the tennis team, usually the top sports, which are football and basketball, you tend to have a control over people that you really should not have. It's something that's very weird, actually, to see people listening to a kid, because that's what all of these people really are. They're kids. They're only 15, 16 years old. What do they know about life, right? Yet they're acting as if they can rule over other people or to have a control over people. Unfortunately, though, that is so super common that the only way to get that out of American society is to have a complete transformation of the education system. And if I'm being honest, that's not going to happen anytime soon. In fact, our American education system is being even more free and letting jocks or letting athletes to do whatever they want. So, for example, it's a big example. In school, if you are a player on a team and you are having a bad grade, saying you are failing in the class, you're not allowed to play. But if you are the star athlete, if you are the captain, they let you play. If you have that, the hierarchy, if you're at the top, they'll let you do anything you want. So I mentioned earlier about these people who are in AAU basketball. These are your top athletes. I mean, these people are very tall, very strong, bigger than teachers even. And that's why they can kind of do whatever they want. They are treated like a god from a very young age. So they have a control that they really should not have. Good question. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Are you
Yeah.
welcome?
I've been seeing that a lot in what is that? The movies that usually in every
Right.
movie that the captain of the football teams dating with the hottest girl in school. Like,
Yeah.
so it just
Not the
becomes
hottest girl.
Not the hottest.
cheerleader.
Okay, the leader of
hottest
cheerleader
cheerleader.
team. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think we might have time for one more question if somebody else wants to. I haven't heard from any of the ladies yet. Do any ladies have any questions?
Is there any question, guys?
And again, it does not have to be sport related. If you want to ask about my family or about anything,
I have a question, but I'm not a lady.
that's fine.
Can I ask again?
Yeah, for sure. What's up?
I want to ask about how does America prevent bullying between American football players? Because we know there's often bullying and hierarchies between players who are more reliable and not.
So your question is just on American football?
For all sport, not just American football. But
yeah.
I asked about how America prevent the bullying in the sport between sport player.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know there is often bullying and hierarchies between players
Right.
who are more reliable and not. When someone reliable, yeah, they got thing. But when he's not reliable on it, so maybe they'll bully this player.
Yeah, that's very common, and it kind of goes back to my last point, which is that if you give somebody like a young kid who is just very gifted, very good at a sport, power, if you give them a something that makes them respected to a degree when they shouldn't. And again, these are just kids. They will use that to their advantage to bully people who are not in sports at all. They will bully people who do not have any desire to play. They are your future engineers, your future mathematicians, your future computer programmers that are doing things. But it's, again, it goes back to the education system from a very young age, the value system in families. And I would say, if we look at the family structure, too often in America is forming around sports, actually, and it should be forming more around family values that encourage compassion, gentleness, sacrifice for others. It happens in sports on the field or on the court, but sometimes it does not carry over. It does not go into the real life because there's a lack of maturity, a lack of respect for somebody that's different than you. So I made this PowerPoint a little bit too one-sided on sports is good. Maybe I should have had some more why sports is bad in here as well.
Okay, is there any other questions? I want to ask a question.
Sure.
Do you have any favorite soccer club?
No.
But do you like watching it?
No.
So what sports do you like? What
How about
sport
Mr.
do you like?
Michael?
Yeah, well, for me, my favorite sports were football, American football, and I played football. So I was a football player. I was a basketball player. Not very good. I wasn't very good at any sport really. I played baseball. I played. I did not play soccer, and I did wrestling as well, and I did track and field. So I did a lot of different sports. But yeah, even though my body shape is actually soccer player, I should have been a soccer player, but I really just don't like it. But if Mr. Michael wants to talk about soccer, he's more than welcome to. He loves soccer.
Yeah, how about you, Mr. Michael?
Actually, Mr. Chris, you did a wonderful job with football, soccer, association football. Professionally, I would support two teams. One from England, Queen's Park Rangers. I have visited their grounds actually. And German team, FC Kaiserslautern. They are newly promoted to the second highest division in Germany, Bundesliga 2. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And Danielle and I like to go to minor league soccer here in America, like second division. We like going to Pittsburgh to see the local team, the Hounds, which is not local for us at all.
No.
By any stretch. We say local because it's the closest team to us. So yeah.
So are you living in like a small town or rural area or something?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, I should let you answer.
No, you're fine. They didn't ask for my opinion. They asked for yours. So, yeah. Any
So,
other?
Mr. Michael, do you have a favorite player?
Oh.
No, not really. No.
Did you used to have a favorite player?
Not really. I
No.
mean, I'm not about players. I'm more about teams and sides, how they do collectively rather than individuals. I used to be a talent scout, so yeah. I can't really say much because I have a certain mold I like that I would favor more than others, but I don't say I adore certain players. Nah, it's just not. I guess I could say I'm past that phase.
Okay, anybody got another questions?
Officials, that's another story.
Anybody?
Going once, going twice. Okay.
Oh yeah.
sold.
How about
That's okay.
like when Miss Daniel announced that we will have a guest, then I say that, oh, is it Tom Brady? And she said, no, he's not Tom Brady. And she said that Tom Brady has cheating in Super Bowl. So what did he actually do?
What was his cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dating back to about 4 years ago, maybe longer, maybe about 7 years ago. There was no, longer than that. 20. He's been playing so long. 15 years ago, the NFL found that you're not allowed to videotape a practice of another team, but they had put cameras into the arena, into the football stadium, to see specifically what plays the other team was calling leading up to the playoffs and even going into the Super Bowl. So they were spying. It's called Spygate. And they were looking at how people were calling the formations and calling the plays based on formations. And that's what they considered cheating. Second one was called Deflategate, which is where there was a deflating of the football. So there's a certain amount of air that needs to be in the football. And what they said what happening was that Tom Brady was taking some of the air out of the football. Now, what that does, especially in cold weather, if you try to catch a football and there's too much air in it, it's too hard. It really hurts the hand. So, or it just bounces right off, especially if it's cold weather. But when there's a little bit of air out of it, it's more able to grip it. You're able to grip it better. So people were able to catch the ball better. And they considered that cheating, but really, both sides had that ability, right? So even though Tom Brady has a better grip on the football, so did the opposing quarterback as well. But those are the two big cheating scandals I think you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Vincent just share to you the
I have
link.
shared the attendance link on the chat, so for everybody that are here can fill the attendance first.
Oh yeah, for your information, the attendance link.
Yes.
Sorry, you have just 5 minutes, around 5 or 7 minutes to fill it.
Ooh, that's fast.
Yes, because I don't want to any students cheating, and actually they don't join with us today, but they fill the attendance link, and I don't want that.
Right.
So I just give 5 or 7 minutes to all of you to fill it.
Bagus.
Yeah, tegas. Okay, maybe we can continue our discussion, Vincent.
Oh yeah, I want to ask you. So in Indonesia, we know that's when we were at school, we don't take sports like PE class that seriously. But after that, like we can see that national team, for example, Indonesian football national team, like everybody will care about it, and the whole nation suddenly like watch the national team because the nationalism that we had. And sometimes it has like a great impact. For like an example, like when we lost final on Thailand, the soccer, the Instagram account of the referee was, I think it's disappeared because Indonesian people were reporting it. So it's pretty bad. What I wanted to ask you is like any sports in America, do American like see that sports nationally seriously in the national level?
Yeah, that's there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of pride that goes into sports, both at the professional, at the high school, at the youth level, and at the national level as well. And it's something that it's hard to describe because everybody is so different. You have a whole country of almost 700,000 people. Same in Indonesia. You have thousands and thousands, millions, 700 million people. In Indonesia, you have, I think, close to 600 million people that are all just, all doing their own thing. They all live in different parts of the archipelago, many different islands. But when it comes to having a focus, a singular focus that brings them together, it's very electric. It's something that really excites us. And I think that's what happens in the Olympics, most notably. But with like World Cup soccer, or with when it comes to the most recent, because when it comes to national sports, whether it's usually badminton and then soccer. Those are the two top things in Indonesian sports. So people are really into it whenever they see the Olympics, and it's the number one badminton team versus China versus I forget the other ones, maybe Pakistan or other countries that are really into badminton as well. And it's I think that's something that it's not even about the sport really. It's more about having a bond with somebody, a bond with, okay, I'm from Kalimantan, this person's from Jawa, This one's from Timor Leste. But because they have that one focus on the sport, oh, okay, yeah, we can share something like a fraternity or a sorority, something that brings you together, and that's a really cool experience. I think that's one of the benefits of national, being able to watch your team at a national level. And with the receiving, I know you said about the person started to get threatened or started to get hated. That's the struggle with kind of freedom, right? Sometimes we have the freedom to say things that I doubt nobody would say, I hate you to that coach's face. Nobody would go to the top player on that team and say, you're the worst player I've ever seen. I think that's kind of the issue with too much freedom to say whatever you want on Twitter or on Instagram or on Facebook. You kind of have in America, it's even worse. So in Indonesia, there's at least some filter. People have a filter, I think. But in America, there are people who are adults, telling a 10-year-old kid how much of a piece of garbage they are at playing. Yeah. The bullying is not just amongst the same age. It's from adults too. It's very sad.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to jump in and talk about from the third team's perspective, the officials team. That was my professional experience in football, soccer. If you ask about my favorite player, it would be an official. He's retired, of Italy, Pargligi Colina. Yeah, the big eyes. Yeah. Bald. Yeah. I read his bio. Wonderful person, absolutely amazing person. He encouraged me to be athletic amongst the athletes and to promote team unity amongst my teammates. And I will agree with Chris, once you get to the higher echelons of football officiating, like in America, college is our higher level. It does become more of a fraternity, sorority type feeling, because the better officials are there and we get to know each other a lot more. But on the other hand, when we're out there working together, we do definitely try and protect each other emotionally and definitely physically, because I have actually been threatened physically with bodily harm at a match. So also, thick skin is good. It also has taught me who I really am. And I will say that faith has taught me a lot and brought me through a lot of horrible situations. But, just from the third team perspective, it's very family oriented, the caring, virtue, the virtue part of learning your craft to control a game, as well as how to talk to human beings that are screaming at you, calm them down, just being regular people, just realizing we're on a pedestal too, maybe twice as high as players, because the magnifying glass, we get a bigger one, a much bigger one, because sometimes we'll control the outcome of a game. Not that we want to, it's looked at that way.
Oh, okay. That was pretty good, actually, from a good, nice perspective. I love it. Okay, KF2, I think that was the last question, isn't it? Because we have to end the meeting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's 9:34 in Indonesia.
9:34.
Yes. Oh, past about 4 minutes. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, Mr. Christopher, thank you for coming. Mrs.
Thank you for having
Daniele,
me.
Ms. Michael, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining as well. Today was a very, very fun topics. We can see a lot of different perspectives, different ideas, and a new type of sports that not very common in Indonesia, which is American football. I think I should watch it more though. It looks fun, to be honest. Let's see.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Who won the scavenger hunt, Danielle?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't keep track.
My bad. No.
Kind of did each round, but
I'll go back to the YouTube video and
if I kept track, I would have to give a prize. But since you're there, you could go back to the YouTube, count it up, and give a prize.
okay, yeah. I'll be at Esa Unggul campus besok pagi jam 6.
Jam 6 is too morning.
Too early.
Too early. If you don't want the prize. If you don't
We
want
used
the
to be
prize.
still sleeping at that time.
Anyway, what is our next topic, Miss Daniel?
So I was thinking, back in school days, we used to do a thing called show and tell. And I thought this might be a fun idea. You and I didn't talk about this, but you pick an item from your house, something, usually something that you really like. Some people would just grab something because they forgot about it. And just kind of present about, why you picked this item, why it's special to you, why you like it. It's a very short presentation. How do you think that would be fun?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Idea. Yeah, that's good
So
idea.
you have like 2 weeks, I think, to pick an item to share with everyone. And if you have to share in Indonesian, that is okay. But do your best for that. So, all right.
All right. Okay. I'll keep in mind.
All right.
I cannot wait.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that was our meeting. So I think we gotta end this meeting. Thank you very much for everyone who's coming. Thanks again to Mr. Christopher, Mr. Michael, and Miss Danielle for joining us. And thank you, Miss Henny. Okay, guys, I think we will see you in another 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
everybody.
Terima kasih Mas Chris, terima
Ya.
kasih Mbak Danieli, terima kasih Mas Michael.
Mas.
Sampai ketemu lagi. See you.
Sama-sama.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Guys. All right.